Alright, so I don't usually do reactions like this, but this video caught my attention. It says Worst TCG Ever Card Fight Vanguard.
I'm sorry, what?
Okay, I don't blame you, I guess. Everyone has their own opinions.
But yeah, for some reason this got me, so I'ma watch it and yeah, I'm just gonna give my take, I guess.
Yo, so there's a lot of card games out there currently, and I've played a lot of them over the
Fuyo, Yu-Gi-Oh, Digimon, Pokemon,
I have no idea what this is.
Star Wars Unlimited. What? I'm not gonna lie, but Yu-Gi-Oh is that one game that's pretty difficult. It's like you play this, but then your opponent just activate a trap card or a magic card, then it's just left and right, back and forth, and oh my goodness. And the worst part when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh, it's negate.
that I've been playing here and there, getting back into it, stopping it, and then getting back into it again, is always Card Fight Vanguard. It's a popular card game here in Asia, and in today's video, I kinda just wanna go over why Card Fight Vanguard is as good as it is. And
But for some reason, I'm not gonna lie, in Malaysia, card fight, they're like, how about this? I'm not gonna lie, in Malaysia here, there's rarely ever card stores, I don't know, there's rarely ever card shops in my area. And for some reasons, even if there is, most of the card shops sells Pokemon.
more so, kind of like a review video, you know? Is Card Fight Vanguard really the best TCG? Or is it bad? And am I just biased?
Some people say it's
first
good,
of
some
all,
people
Card
say it's
Fight Vanguard
bad,
is a
so
TCG that
I'd
was
say
released in
it's
the year 2011,
nearly identical to
though
both.
It doesn't only feature the card game. In fact, it was released as an anime series first within January.
Yeah,
of
the
2000
OG, the OG series. Yep. Hello, Aichi. Hello, Kai, Misaki, Kamui. Okay. By the way, speaking of the OG4, speaking of these, whatever happened to Misaki and Kamui's decks? Hello. Bring back CEO Amaterasu. Bring back Ashura Kaiser. Thank you.
It was rising in popularity so much that kids
Ui.
in schools would be playing it, and
I'm not gonna lie, but back in my university days, I joined the Current Vanguard. Yeah, I actually joined the Current Vanguard WhatsApp group chat, and a few of the members tend to, man, a few of the members tend to card fight as well. Yeah, such as a friend of mine using Blankmeyer, another friend of mine using another Blankmeyer. Oh my goodness. It- the only thing, oh my goodness. If there's one thing in common when it comes to Vanguard, it's sacking.
it spread like a disease, like wildfire. That's where
Like co-
I initially
like the
learned about
coronavirus.
this game, and
No
when I
offense,
learned to
no
play
offense.
was a mixture
offense,
of
sorry.
friends teaching me as well as the anime, which does a
Yeah.
really good job in teaching the mechanics of this game. They've kind of rebooted the game and anime about twice now, having gone through 3 different iterations, with each iteration having slightly varying rule sets. And
Iteration as in. Oh wait, no, that's different. Sorry, I thought when he said iterations, I thought he meant the languages, because there's like the English version, the Japanese version, which is the main one, and then there's also the Thailand version. Yeah, yes. Oh wait, if I'm not mistaken, there's also the Bahasa Melayu, isn't it? Yeah. Never mind. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, we have G units, that's for sure, and G Guardians. Okay, and then up comes Imaginary Gift, Force, Excel, Protect. And now up comes the current meta Persona, right? Makes sense, yes.
mechanics that are special to them, but Bushiroad, which is the company behind Card Fight Vanguard,
That's
has
true.
made a statement saying
That's
they don't
true.
plan to reboot the game anymore, which is great. The reboots are as follows. Original Vanguard,
Yep.
which was then
Yep.
rebooted into Vanguard V before now settling on Vanguard D.
Yeah. Okay, but I'm not gonna lie, I actually heard there's a bunch of people who dislike V though. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, is it that bad though? I mean, never mind. Never mind. Forget I ask. Forget I ask. Okay. Okay. How do I put? Okay, I'm aware V is based on the manga, and then these two are practically original. You get the idea. Blah blah blah.
All
Yeah.
you need to know is that if a Vanguard card has a D on the bottom left, it's from this current era, which
Yep.
means it's within the standard format. So that's the brief history lesson of Cardfight Vanguard, but I would assume most of you don't really know how this game plays out and what's so good about it. So in my original script, I actually talked about how to identify cards, what the turn actions are, along with the rules and mechanics of the game. However, it lengthened the script to a significant amount, and I did not want to have this video be a guide on.
My guy just literally wrote a research paper on this game. What? Okay, I'm not gonna lie. For some reason, I was shocked when this occurred, and I might read it. Okay, no offense. I might read it. No offense to the guy. No offense, but yeah.
How to play rather than a review of the game itself. So if you'd like for me to create a how to play Vanguard in 2026 video, be sure to let me know in the comments. Instead, here I'll just be guiding you through what you would expect from a...
Didn't they already have a tutorial video on the official channel? Like, isn't there already a tutorial video on, I don't know, on the official English channel or something? I got no idea. Oh, on the JP channel as well, yes.
game of Vanguard, so I can
Voiced
get
by
into the
Niles
reviews
VA
on
and
the pros
Tizos
and
VA,
cons
yeah.
of these mechanics. So Vanguard has a lot of cool cards,
Fui.
and when picking a deck, you should generally...
Back then, Orphis was like, I'm not gonna lie, but back then Orphis was like, I don't know, I think Orphis was like everyone's fan favorite because it resembles Chaos Breaker Dragon from the original series, and yeah, you can notice the scythe, the rings, yeah, dark. Although if there's one thing I don't understand is why Orphis is Brandgate instead of Dark States, because like, hello, darkness. But yeah, I mean, okay, I suppose Orphis is like Chaos Breaker 2.0, but so it only makes sense that it stays in Brandgate, or should I say Stargate? Yeah. Anyways, oh, okay, we got Nirvana Jiva. I forgot who is this guy. Sorry, ma'am. Oh, and there's Rizal Vita. Okay.
pick the card that
Pick.
resonates with you the most. That card will be the main card of your deck, also known as your Vanguard, hence the name of the game. Your deck will be built in a way that's centered around your
Vanguard, the one that leads the
supporting
way.
it by giving it power, blocking attacks for it, and complementing its playstyle to create a winning strategy.
Did Vanguard actually stole? I don't know. Looking at order cards, did Vanguard kinda actually no? I think they probably got this from Buddy Fight, or Yu-Gi-Oh, because order cards are almost similar to spell cards. So I mean, just think. Set order means field spell from Yu-Gi-Oh. Normal orders are practically magic cards from Yu-Gi-Oh, and Blitz order are trap cards.
Nah, I'm just imagining things.
This is the layout of the battlefield.
Nice.
Insert,
Yep.
battlefield
True.
layout.
True.
With your Vanguard in the center
Yes,
of the front
grade
row,
zero, grade
and
zero,
the units
yes.
surrounding it will be its rear guards. As the game starts, your Vanguard starts as a grade 0, which is its weakest form, but as
Why
the
is Trick
game
Start the starter?
continues
Why
on,
is Trick
it
Start
gets
the
stronger,
starter?
going from a grade 0 all the way up to a grade 3, which is its maximum potential. Your Vanguard essentially kind of evolves as
Dude,
the
there's
game
actually
goes
grade
on,
10, grade 4,
then
and grade
reaches its
5.
maximum potential a little later in the game, but not that late, within probably 3 turns. When your Vanguard reaches its final form, or aka its grade 3, this is when the game starts to really hit its peak, with intense back and forth between both Vanguards. To win the game, you must declare an attack on your opponent, and if the attack goes through, your opponent
Yes,
takes
yeah,
1
true,
damage.
true.
The same applies to you. If
I'm pretty
they
sure
want to
nowadays
attack you, they
players just say
declare an
first
attack
swing
on
your
you during
Vanguard,
their
second
battle
swing your
phase,
rear
and
guard,
if you
third
fail
swing
to
your
block,
Vanguard
you
again.
will take
I
1
got no
damage.
idea.
The first person to hit 6 damage loses the game.
Yes.
So as I've played Vanguard, one of the many things that I've loved about this game is the amount of different playstyles each deck has to offer, with each of them having varying amount of skill expressions.
True,
I
true,
know each
true.
deck in every card game has
True.
different playstyles, but Vanguard is...
Ooh, Draco Tail. Hehe. Not gonna lie, but guys, I actually play Master Duel off screen as well, and Draco Tail was one of the decks I built. Yeah.
one that I think
Pokemon,
does
not
it
so much, sadly.
incredibly well for a physical card game. Each deck not only has certain
Token
play
generation,
styles
special
that they
mechanic,
center
resource
around,
control,
but
rear
makes
guard
use
summoning.
of
Haha,
different
classic.
mechanics of the
Classic.
game as one of them.
Actually, no. Resource control for Seraph? I'd say Seraph is more on stealing cards because, yeah, hello, prison. Prison mechanic is quite annoying to deal with. And the only way to beat prison is to pray they break.
Resource systems. Every deck will use all the resource systems the game has to offer, but some decks focus heavily on a specific one of those resource systems. And some
Yes,
decks have their own
Shoujo,
special
yeah,
resource
the one that
system
binds.
that is accessible only to them.
And there's Impaldio, the Vanguard Zero's, hello, yeah. Impaldio is basically Vanguard Zero 2.0 in a nutshell.
The main deck that I use, for example, is centered around the Vanguard Dragonic Overlord, whose entire game plan is having
the new Overlord,
the Vanguard
the car
itself
icon,
have multiple attacks in a single turn,
True,
threatening the
true.
opponent with massive
Overlord,
pressure from
Overlord,
the Vanguard
legend,
itself.
absolute
it also
legend.
removes the opponent's rear guards, all of its supports and units, and it gets a boost in power as it clears out the battlefield, leaving the opposing Vanguard alone to replenish its battlefield. Another aspect.
Speaking of which, what is a Kagero? It should be Overlord the clan.
The opposing Vanguard alone to replenish its battlefield. Another aspect that I've really enjoyed about this game is the art direction of the cards and how it always helps match the theme
Lord!
of the deck. So
Oh,
each
yo,
deck is
Lord.
part
Oh,
of a
there's blank
specific
and there's
nation.
Impaldio again.
You can think of nations like colors in Magic and in...
Excuse me, where's Lyrical Monasterio? Hello, Lyrical Monasterio, strong man. No offense, dude, but... No offense, but where the frick is Lyrical Monasterio? Where... Oh my goodness.
Vanguard, you cannot mix two nations together during the process of deck building. There
True.
are
Unless there are, I don't know how to put this. Unless there are cards that include dual nation, then yes.
a total of 6 nations, those nations being dark states, a nation whose land is built on an everlasting darkness,
True,
with cards
true,
that focus
yes.
on a more sacrificial kind of playstyle, high risk, high reward. Then
Why is
there's
Blaster
Brandgate,
Duck here?
a nation that serves as the gate between the planet Kree and extraterrestrial beings from outer space. It's a nation whose playstyle can be linked with board control and resource manipulation. Next up, we have Gator Sanctuary, the smallest nation within planet Kree that is sacred and values both justice and order. It's
It's practically knights and holy dragons and
holiness,
whatever.
friendship,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
consistently
exactly, yes.
calling out allies
Yeah,
to
exactly,
fight
yes.
alongside each other. The fourth nation, if I'm counting correctly, is Stoichia. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's a nation of flora and fauna. It represents a vibrant ecosystem with many beast-like beings, and it's a nation whose themes are that of life, death, and just the wilderness.
It's weird though, like, I just don't get, like, how to put this. Okay, never mind Barracria and Magnolia, I mean, those two are practically, okay, these two are perfect for Stoichia, but Zorga? Zorga is mostly on spells, right? Like, dark magic and stuff. So, shouldn't this be in dark states? Never mind.
It reanimates the dead from the drop zone or spriting life anew in the form of tokens.
Oh wait.
The fifth nation
Oh wait, guys, wait, hold on. Stoichia is practically a mix of Zoo and Megalanika from the OG series. And then, how do I put this? Well,
The fifth nation on the list is Lyrical Monasterio. It's an odd one. It's a nation built on the back of a giant flying whale that follows themes of
it's a school.
idols and
The whale's a school. The whale's a
waifus,
school.
I guess. It has its own unique gimmicks that I can't really explain well. If you like anime waifus, you'll love this nation. And lastly, my favorite nation,
A few of my friends
it's
do.
the Dragon
A few of my
Empire.
friends
It's
do
the
actually.
strongest military
yes.
force in all of
Ah,
Planet
yes,
Kree.
my
It
home-
follows
my
themes
home
of
clan.
chaos, destruction.
Ah, yes! My ace card! Varga Dragus Rakshasa. Man, I love it. I love it. Hehe. I'm a fanboy of the Dragon Empire, I swear. Because yeah, I mean, because how do I put this? I like dragons, so there. Even Overlord.
Dragons and dragon slayers, you can expect this deck to be a lot more explosive, with big vanguard attacks wiping out large parts of the battlefield. The fact that each deck is built up of cards from a specific nation, and each nation having their own themes, really elevates the battle in my opinion. Like having a Dark States deck fighting off with a Cater Sanctuary deck, a Vanguard who sacrifices its own units for strength versus a Vanguard that calls for support to fight alongside its allies. And
Wait, Dark States sacrificing. Oh, wait, what? Rewind?
really elevates the battle in my opinion. Like having a Dark States deck fighting off with a Cater Sanctuary deck, a Vanguard who sacrifices its own units for strength versus a Vanguard that calls for support to fight alongside its allies. And
I don't remember draw sacrificing rear guards just to, I don't know. But if you're talking soul blasting, then yes.
in case any of you were wondering, when I did mention the themes and playstyles earlier of each nation, that doesn't mean you can't find decks within that nation that has a theme and playstyle that is different from what I explained. For example, despite the Dragon Empire being an explosive deck that likes to destroy the board, a popular deck within Dragon Empire is actually Trickstar, a deck that's
Trickstar.
themed around friendship and growth. It focuses on having a rear guard that starts off as a grade 0, just
Wasn't
like the
Trickstar
Vanguard,
the
and it
mascot
can
back
also
then?
grow into different forms
No, this is
thanks to the
Gabrielius.
support of the Vanguard and its other units. So in that deck, you can kind of think of it as there's two Vanguards. One thing that really helps with each deck and their personality is definitely the enemy, because the enemy is actually a month older than the card game itself, and Cardfight Vanguard has had an ongoing enemy since the card game came out, going through many eras of Vanguard, with each one having multiple seasons and possibly a new main cast. Each character
By the way, I'm not gonna lie, that one season that does not include card fights is this one right here, Vanguard If. Okay, I know, okay, yes, I'm aware there are some card fights, but they're mostly off screen, and at the same time, like, I don't know, never mind.
is paired with a deck that really mirrors their personality, whether it be greed, hope, power, or anything else like that. If you have any interest in watching it, or if you enjoy
Get this guy out, get this brat out, thank you.
watching Yu-Gi-Oh, I would highly recommend watching the Vanguard anime. You should really only watch Vanguard Overdress though, followed by Vanguard Will Dress, and then finally Divines. The reason behind this is because Overdress is a reboot of the series and the birth of the most recent era in Vanguard.
Dress is like
Everything
follow-up,
that came
and then
before
Divine Z is the
Overdress
current
are
follow-up
eras
and
that
stuff.
are no
Yeah,
longer
yes.
in rotation, nor are they relevant to the story anymore. Overdress is a light-hearted slice of life and comedy anime with things progressing into Will Dress, which essentially is the tournament arc, and that's when things get a little crazier with more magical and fantasy things happening, like the typical card game animes where a character saves the world with cards. But I heard it's very entertaining and fun to watch. I'm currently watching Will Dress myself, and I haven't made it to Divines yet, but I heard things get even better because
By the way, I'm not gonna lie, but if you're how to put this, I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, since you're watching Will Dress, actually no, I want to say something about it, but no, I'm not gonna spoil it.
the
I'm not
fights
gonna spoil
in
it,
Vanguard
sorry.
Will
I'm
Dress
not gonna
are
spoil it.
already much better than Overdress. They're like very well animated and just overall like really fun to watch. So out of the many card games I've played through the years, Vanguard has honestly been one of my favorites. It has one of the best battle phases in any card game that I've played, with great combos that are incredibly fun to pull off. And the best part is it's actually nowhere near as difficult as Yu-Gi-Oh's combos. With some decks,
Wait, what?
it's actually nowhere near as difficult as Yu-Gi-Oh's combos. with some decks not even needing to pull off a super long combo string to reach maximal potential, giving new players a lower bar of entry. The
Yu-Gi-Oh combos, huh? Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, yeah, chain. Yeah, when you think about Yu-Gi-Oh, it's chain this, chain that, trap this, trap that, magic card this, magic card that, negate this, negate that, and makes sense.
battle phase in Vanguard is very interactive between both the attacker and defender, and I think the battle phase is what really makes this game shine. It is like the best battle phase in my opinion. I think I've said that, but
I don't
really
blame you.
can't
I don't
stress
blame
that
you.
enough.
Yes,
do
I
think
agree.
This game
I don't blame
has
you.
one
I
of
agree.
the best battle phases in any card games. It is super fun, super interactive, and for the most part doesn't really feel, frustrating or anything, which I will explain further in a bit.
Let me guess.
Though I have
The
really
drive
enjoyed my
checking.
time with this game, it's obvious that this game isn't perfect and definitely has some jarring flaws which I will be going over. So let's start off with the fact that Vanguard constantly gets newer archetypes for their nations. Now you might say to yourself, wait,
Gabuelius.
isn't newer archetypes a good thing? Because that means new playstyles. Each time new archetypes come out. And yes, on one end it's
Actually, I'm not gonna lie. Guys. Speaking of Gabuelius, I think I might build Gabuelius Phantoming next. I don't know. I probably need to check my budget first. So, sorry.
great, but on the other end, it comes with the downsides that eventually
I actually wanna play Dark
Bushiroad will
States
stop
2
supporting
at
the
some point,
archetypes
but
that you
who
made
knows?
of the most, because decks commonly get supported for a very long time, years even, but eventually there will be a time where you can tell that support for your specific deck that you really like will eventually just slow down. And though you can play engines made for other decks of your nation, you would normally end up
What's
waiting
Berserk
for
Dragon
another
doing here?
good generic card for that nation
Ah,
instead,
Brachio
as
Force. Sorry, no. Oh, sorry, no. That's Belly Kagure. Sorry. Sorry, no. Ah, frick. I have trouble. I have trouble pronouncing this guy. Yeah, Belly Gear Crow. Yeah, yes, thank you. Okay, that's better. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I noticed a lot of people put this guy in the Rakshasa deck. Now there's Zava Dratni has arrived. But this guy, Belly Gear Crow, is extremely expensive. It literally costs 160 something on Shopee. Like in Malaysia ringgit. Literally, it's really expensive AF.
engines aren't really made to fit with your deck in mind. So generally they are most often not going to synergize with your archetype that well. But I get it, they want to keep making more archetypes slash decks to keep the game fresh. However, since I've started playing again recently, I would see some cool cards I would want as my Vanguard to find out that some of them have just stopped getting much support, if any. They are still viable, but knowing they won't be getting any attention till
Yeah, good question. Where is Bruce? Hey, that's a good point. Yeah, whatever happened to Bruce? Whatever happened to getting Bruce support or something? I got no idea. Actually, Zorga, you have Zorga Nadir, right? So,
further notice is disappointing to hear. Another one of Vanguard's downsides is the triggers. And this
Wait,
kind
what?
of downsides is the triggers.
Why?
And this kind of relates back to what I said previously about Vanguard's battle phase being one of the best battle phases, but has a small element of frustration sometimes. Because during the process of deck building,
yes.
you can put in
It depends on your luck.
16 trigger
Sacking.
units into your deck of 50 cards. These trigger units come
15?
units
Wait.
into your deck of 50 cards. These trigger units come into play during the attack and damage step of your Vanguard. So when your Vanguard attacks, you may reveal the top card of your deck. If the top card of your deck is a trigger unit, your Vanguard can gain a sudden boost in power and even doing an extra point of damage onto your opponent's Vanguard depending on the trigger. This can also happen during the damage step, where if your Vanguard were to take damage, you will have to reveal the top card of your deck to place into the damage zone. But if that card that was revealed happens to be a trigger, your Vanguard will gain a sudden boost in power for the rest of the turn, making your opponent's attack easier to guard and possibly even healing the damage you took depending on that trigger. Now, that may seem like the game is based on luck, and I can't disagree that luck does play a role, but it's hard to agree that that's all this game is, because there is a significant amount of skill involved in keeping track of triggers in both players' decks. And
I'm pretty sure there's a thing, how to put this, aside from these two statements, doesn't Oracle think tank back then keeps triggers in check?
making offensive and defensive choices based on the likelihood of triggers
And
appearing,
Genesis, yeah.
depending on like how many cards are left in the deck and how many triggers have already been revealed. It's all just
Yeah.
probability in the end. What does suck that everyone can agree on, because most people do love triggers and I love triggers, but what people really hate
I love
is
gambling,
the
he
over
says.
trigger. So
Ah,
out of the 16
OT.
trigger units you can have in your deck, one of them is the over trigger.
One.
The over trigger is a trigger that, if checked, grants a unit 1 million power for the rest of the turn, and triggering an
1
insanely
million?
powerful effect depending on which
Okay.
over trigger you decided to choose for your deck. So
Yep.
there are a few people that do dislike triggers, but a majority of players do like triggers. However, one thing that's unanimous is that everybody, and I mean everyone within this community, hates the over trigger, because
What?
sometimes it feels like games are just decided by who can get the over trigger at the best time. The next downside
Man,
of Vanguard, in my opinion,
mean-
is that it's not new player
I guess.
friendly. I think this game is great for people who are familiar with card games, or if you already have an interest in Vanguard and don't mind your first card game being on the more difficult side. However, unless you fit that category, it's generally pretty bad for people who have low interest and don't want to learn too much in their first card game. Part of the learning curve is not only understanding the skills and words of how cards can interact, but Vanguard has a lot of counting, and I do mean a lot of counting.
Do the math. Yeah, guys, if you want to, how to put this, first step before playing Vanguard, master your mathematics. Okay, so yeah. By the way, I mean, how to put this, I mean, if you want to teach people how to play Vanguard, you could, like, how to put this, know play skills first before getting into the moment. Yeah, like, don't use skills first, and then, well.
Vanguard has a lot of counting.
By the
and
way, why is Rakai here? Why is Rakai here? Get this guy out. Why is Rakai here? Get out.
I do mean a lot of counting. Players would typically have custom markers to place on cards that gain power, because your Vanguard and rear guards are getting power very frequently in game. So you will need a good way to keep track of how much power they do gain.
Bring your calculator.
May
Bring your
not see this
calculator,
as
or
an
use your
issue,
head
as
if
most
you're really
could
good at
probably
math.
keep track without any markers, since at a certain point the numbers start getting quite familiar and you can easily tell what certain magic numbers are
numbers.
for attacking or for defending. However, I can't help but see this as a downside, as someone who wants to pick up a card game for the first time in a while, or is just inexperienced in
mental
card games
abuse
in
to
general,
humans.
because they can easily lose
I'm
track of
joking,
how much
I'm
power
joking.
their units have.
But
due
yeah,
to how much
part of
power
Vanguard
just
is learning
spread
how to
across the board.
calculate.
And they can
Part of
definitely get
Vanguard is
overwhelmed
like
by
mastering your
calculating just how
mathematics.
much they need to be guarding with to make sure that they can still block any damage if their opponent suddenly gains a burst of power due to a trigger. And the same applies for when they are defending, of course. They would need to constantly count and count and count. And lastly, one of my biggest complaint about Vanguard is
Why?
the fact that I think Vanguard, in terms of pricing, is really bad. I think the products themselves
That's
are actually
kinda
priced
true.
fairly. There are a few decks out there that
That's
can supply you
kinda
with
true,
most of the cards you
somehow.
will need to start playing. In fact,
Yep.
they released 2 new decks recently for the Cater Sanctuary and Dragon Empire Nation, featuring cards from old beloved anime characters. But the price of getting singles is quite absurd, such as a card named Dragon Vortex, Belly Gear
Ah, yeah, yes,
reaching
yeah.
upwards to
Yes, this guy, the guy I mentioned earlier, this freaking piece of...
Whatever this guy is.
It's literally so expensive that people just... Oh my goodness. Not gonna lie, but like I said, this guy is placed in a Varga deck as well. But the fact that it's so expensive, what are the odds?
$60 per copy. Staple
Man.
cards in this game can feel
Oh yeah,
like a
Saragon,
nightmare
yes.
to get, but
Ah,
the only
yes,
good thing I can
Saragon.
say about this is the fact that you only
Saragon.
need to buy it if you plan on joining official tournaments, I guess. You can always just print out proxy cards to play with your friends or play casually at your local card shop, which is what I do because I just cannot afford these big expensive staple cards. But I really want to play the game because I've really enjoyed it again ever since I started playing, and I just need a cheaper option, and this is the best cheaper option. So yeah, those are my takes on how I feel towards Vanguard. I do plan to review more TCGs in the future. However, this specific review will be a lot more in-depth than those ones because I am personally invested in Vanguard, as I used to play a lot. I'm not someone who's just started it, but I'm
Oh.
someone who is returning back to the game after a long time.
Me
In
too,
fact,
me
you
too.
can
Back then I
consider
played
this
Vanguard as
review
well,
as
but then
a
after a while I
review
quit
to
and
the
now I
Vanguard
just got back into
franchise
it.
as a
Same
whole
thing.
rather than just the Vanguard TCG specifically. Overall, personally, my final score for Vanguard is that I would give it an 8 out of 10. It's a great game. It's improved a lot over the years. It's still a blast to play despite its few cons, and if you are interested in it, I would highly implore you to give it a try, as it has one of the best moment-to-moment gameplays that I've ever had in a TCG.
It's
And
not
I
it's
think
not perfect,
Vanguard
but it's
is
good.
just
So there.
severely
It's not perfect,
underrated
but
as a card game. It doesn't get as much love and attention as it
yeah,
deserves.
exactly,
Anyways,
exactly.
that's all
So
from me.
underrated.
Hope you enjoyed the video. Bye bye.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, but okay, I'm not gonna lie, but I kind of got baited. I swear, I kind of got baited. Not gonna lie, but after seeing this video, I'm actually happy that I got baited. So there. But anyways, oh my goodness. Sorry if I talk too much in this video. I just couldn't help myself. Not gonna lie. And if I do accidentally offend any of you guys, I'm sorry, okay? If I accidentally say something that I shouldn't have, or perhaps really something that's quite bad, I apologize, okay? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, okay? Oh my goodness. Anyways, I'm not gonna lie, man, this guy makes a good review, not gonna lie. This guy's not bad. Yeah, this guy's not bad. So okay, I see he has his own points, this, that, and well, I won't say much, but all I can say is keep up the good work. So there. Okay, that's it for today's video, and yeah, once again, I apologize for the delay, and yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Bye!